Now I'm gonna note, Mike, that we're talking about the challenges, but we're not necessarily implying that people should necessarily do them. They should if they want to, but
Okay. Oops.
oh my, you got this. You got this. Let me speak briefly about my condition before we dive into the nitty gritty.
All
I'm
right.
back.
Welcome back, just in the nick of time. Anyway, good evening, everybody. It is Thursday night here at Beyond the Airways, the Infinity Project, and yes, I have a slice of pizza on my head.
Oh
What?
my.
Hey, I hope it's Papa Murphy's meat special.
Well, it could be the case. But anyway, we're glad things are getting back to a bit of normalcy after yesterday. But we're gonna put that away for a little while because let's face it, we need to put a little bit of fun back into the picture. But anyway,
Yep, yep, yep.
yep. So anyway, this is Thursday. It's the first of our wild card shows, and tonight it's Food Fascinations. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover some crazily insane food eating challenges at some fine establishments across the country.
Oh,
And
really?
these were featured on Man versus Food, but what we're not going to tell you is whether man won or whether food won.
Correct.
Most of the time, what few time I've seen the show, 8 times out of 10, food always wins.
It varies based on the episode.
Right. Well, anyway, I'm your host for tonight. I am Oddball Extreme. I'm currently joined on the line by three of my crazy cohorts. First, we've got Spirit Spotter Tim. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, my dear, and I want to say before we go on to introducing the other, those of you who were aware that I was to have had surgery today, I am pleased to announce I am home. I am doing well. There is a little bit of pain and whatnot associated with the incisions in my body from when they took my gallbladder out.
Mm-hmm.
There might be, at least for a little while, some gas buildup, so you might hear me burp, belch, fart, whatever. I apologize in advance for anybody put off by that. That is
Hey,
because that is happening because when they perform the surgery, they have to pump enough gas into my body to give the surgeon room to work with. This
Gotcha.
is
I,
not me. This is not me being distasteful or anything of that nature.
Nope.
Odds are pretty high you're not going to hear much of anything because I tend to try to stifle it anyway. But in the event something happens, I ask people's understanding during this time. Uh,
we, we
I
I
am
can
other
sympathize with you, Tim. My mom went through gallbladder surgery, and she went through the same damn thing.
and other than that, I'm home. I'm fine. I sound like crap at times. I'm still trying to get past all the anesthesia and everything. So I apologize in advance if anybody is put off. If the unthinkable happens, it's not my intent. It's a side effect of having to have that gas pumped into my body to give the surgeon room to work with to get to my gallbladder and actually remove it. So I humbly ask everybody's understanding during that time, both my colleagues here in the studio and the listeners as well.
Mm-hmm.
It is not my intention to put people off or offend them or whatever. It's just a side effect of the surgery that I've had.
All right. That's good.
No worries,
All
no
right. And
worries.
then over to my left is, of course, our favorite sus, not a sus girl, Janet. And by the way, you need to
Uh-oh.
change your name.
You need to change your name.
And we got Sajo in the chat room. Sajo said, "What's up, everyone? I hope you make a full recovery, Tim." And said, "That's okay, Tim." About the gas situations. Like, hey, it's a side effect. It'll happen. And when
I have to say also I'm quite thankful that they were able to do the surgery laparoscopically because what that basically amounts to is 3 or 4 small incisions on my body, take the gallbladder out, and I go home the same day. And I have about a week or so of recovery time. And no, I am not the sus. Chaos God is.
Well,
Uh,
he's not here, so you take his place.
Yeah.
no,
Remember,
he's still
folks,
sus.
I am not a sus.
Oddball is sus.
All
And
right.
as opposed to opening me up, which would have meant probably 2 to 4 days in the hospital plus a 4 to 6 week recovery period. I am very thankful to no end it did not come to that.
Yep, that's
I
good.
was partly worried about that, but it thankfully did not come to that.
The
That's
only way it would have come to that is if you had gallstones the size of ping pong balls in your gallbladder.
I had a half
That's
inch by a half inch size, about the size of a golf ball, but
ooh,
he was able to remove it laparoscopically.
good.
So I am home. I am doing well. I thank everybody for their well wishes. I know my colleagues here definitely sent out a lot of good vibes, and I really, really appreciate that.
No
Uh,
problem.
all right. So, how about we get started on some food?
I'll do the first.
Did you
I'll do the first
introduce
one.
me or
You
was
gotta
I not
introduce
paying
Joker.
attention?
Wait, what now?
what?
What?
You gotta introduce Joker
Oh,
too.
I'm sorry. I forgot about you. I am so sorry.
Okay.
Forgot about wrong finger, silly. That no. There we go.
On
This
my screen,
way.
I'm like
This way.
just right of oddball.
Yeah.
This
I'm Joker,
way.
everyone. How's
Yeah,
it
that's
going?
the Joker, Mike. Sorry, Mike. I totally forgot. I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay. I was like, wait a minute. I heard
oops.
Tim. I heard Jim. Like, wait a minute. What about me?
Oh yeah.
Happens.
I'm gonna lead us into the first one just to give everybody an example of how we're gonna be talking about this.
Okay.
Uh, most, if not all, of these challenges that we're going to be talking about were originally featured on the Travel Channel show Man vs. Food, where host Adam Richmond and later Casey Webb, after the series was revived after a 5 year hiatus, travels around the country to find some of America's best eats. And at the third and final stop of every episode, he sits down for a challenge. The terms of the challenge vary from place to place, but it basically requires him to consume a dish within a set amount of time, under a set amount of conditions. If he completes the challenge by eating everything within the allotted time, man wins. If
Mhm.
he fails to do it, food wins.
Mhm.
That's the underlying premise of the entire show.
Mhm.
And there are 8 seasons of this to go through. We may be doing a part one, part two. Don't know.
Yeah.
And if my colleagues are familiar with other challenges not represented here, we may include them at some point as
Ooh,
well.
what was that?
What was that?
I just heard a nasty little bit of feedback.
What
I don't
me?
know. I Wasn't me.
What me either.
Hey,
Anyway, our first challenge, Adam undertook at the Big Texan Steak Ranch in Amarillo, Texas. During the episode, he journeyed down Route 66 and visited Moose's 6th Street Bar and Grill for ribs, Biddy Pies for dessert, Golden Light Cafe for a Frito pie, Youngblood Stockyard Cafe for chicken fried steak, and Coyote Bluff for the extra spicy burger from hell. But the challenge took place at the Big Texan Steak Ranch, which Shirley has actually been there.
Yes, I
The,
have.
chal- the challenge was to complete the 72-ounce Big Texan Challenge, which includes a 4.5-pound steak, a bread roll with butter, a baked potato, shrimp cocktail, and a salad. In order to complete the challenge, he has to down the entire thing within 60 minutes. If he succeeded, he would receive a commemorative t-shirt, the meal would be free, and he would have his name placed on the Wall of Fame.
Mhm.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
The success at the time he completed the challenge was back in 2008. Approximately 1 in 6 people managed to complete it.
I think I saw that episode, and I think, unfortunately, that was the time food won.
Nope, man won actually.
Mhm.
he successfully completed it. Now my question to you, my colleagues, is: could you complete that challenge?
Hell
No,
no.
no.
Not without barfing up half of it on the floor. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't do that either. I would have to
I,
have at least 10 friends helping me out with that one.
now I'm not gonna lie to you. If you eat steak and I don't eat very much steak, not necessarily that I won't, just that I don't. But a 72-ounce steak is flipping huge.
Okay, 16 and 16 is 32.
Yep.
That's two 1 pound steaks. 32 and 32 is 64.
It's a
That's
se-
That's
four
four.
steaks.
it's a
That's four.
72 it's a 72-ounce steak.
Right.
It's basic, yeah. So yeah, more than four of those.
Mhm.
About four and a half.
That's
The next the next challenge.
Mhm.
Adam traveled to Memphis, Tennessee, where he ate an Elvis sandwich at Arcade, the spicy fried chicken at Gus's world famous fried chicken, which is actually a place I would love to go to. I don't know if I can eat all the greasy chicken after my gallbladder surgery, but that doesn't mean I ain't gonna try. Maybe not till after I heal up quite a bit though. Plus the ribs, pulled pork, and shrimp at Charlie Burgos's Rendezvous.
Mhm.
But for the challenge, Adam's challenge was to eat the Sasquatch hamburger, a total of 7.5 pounds, including 4 pounds of beef, 1.5 pounds of vegetables, and a 2 pound bun at the Bigfoot Lodge.
Wow.
How many?
Question. Wasn't
Yeah,
there cheese on that hamburger?
I would have to rewatch the episode, but there very well could have been.
Okay, carry on.
How many of you, dear colleagues, could complete that challenge?
No.
Not me.
Well, you know what? I could probably eat a small sliver of that hamburger, and the rest of it would go home with me or go back to my hotel room for dinner, for breakfast the next part of it. Excuse me, part of it for breakfast the next day.
Yeah, I'm probably knowing me. I probably can do it. It'd probably take 3 meals for me to finish that.
I mean,
Well,
7.5 pounds of food is a lot, no matter how you look. And
no shit, Sherlock.
being a big guy myself, because I am obese, even I could not could not down 7.5 pounds of food. As for Adam, poor guy gave it his best shot, but with
Food
13 minutes,
one.
to go, he threw in the towel, and that challenge went to food.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to open it up for everybody else to talk about some of the other challenges.
Okay.
The third challenge took Adam Richmond to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where he ate at Primanti Brothers, where they serve huge sandwiches served with French fries and coleslaw. Basically, because one of my best friends is from Pittsburgh, I got a little bit of an insight into this. The reason Primanti Brothers does this is because it's like a trucker's restaurant. If you've ever driven a semi truck or know someone who does, they basically grab and go to
Mhm.
eat. So if they get like a sandwich basket with a side of French fries and whatever else, and they're trying to eat that and drive a truck, you can't. So what they do, they take the side of fries and they pile it on top of the sandwich.
Oh wow, that's
So,
smart.
so if they put like say like brisket and whatever else, they would put the French fries on top of all that, and then the top bun on top of the fries.
Hmm.
In other words, a brisket and French fry sandwich.
Effectively, yes.
Smart.
He then traveled to DeLuca's restaurant for big omelets and plate-sized chocolate chip pancakes.
Wow, those are big
And,
pancakes.
and yeah, they're big pancakes, but what they do is they take the chocolate chips
Mhm.
and they bake it into the pancake.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
I've seen that.
while it's still batter on the pan, they're already dropping in the chocolate chips.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then they pile on ice cream and chocolate syrup and all this. Oh, and my mouth watering. They're huge, but they look good. And the challenge in this episode. My friend also took the challenge, much to my surprise. I didn't think he could do it. I really didn't think he could do it. He went to Quaker Steak and Lube, which I guess is a former gas station or it's themed after an old gas station.
Could be that or an
Uh-huh.
old oil, old
Yeah,
a place for oil changes.
yeah, it could be that too. To take on what's called the Atomic Hot Wings Challenge. Now, we've talked about hot foods on the show before,
Yep.
especially the various kinds of peppers
Hmm.
and how
The
many
Scoville level of hot
of,
peppers.
Yep.
yeah. To complete this challenge, Adam would have to eat 6 atomic chicken wings. If I remember correctly, there was no time limit. He
That's
could take as
correct.
long as he wanted,
That's correct.
but he had to down 6 of them or he would fail. My friend attempted it. He failed it after 4, and said he felt like his mouth was literally on fire.
I believe it.
Adam, I think, won that one.
He
Adam,
did.
I think,
He
won
did.
that one barely.
He did win that one barely, but he did. But you realize how hot of an atomic wing we're talking here?
Yeah.
Oh, Adam's cheeks
What?
were red. His
He,
eyes were
he,
watering.
he went out back and sat in a tub of ice.
Ooh.
Literally. These atomic wings were in a 150,000 Scoville unit sauce.
Yikes.
This is hotter than habaneros. And he had to eat 6 of them. But he completed it.
Yeah.
And as one would expect for taking on such a challenge, he signed a liability waiver
Yep.
because these things, despite being perfectly edible food, are extremely hot and they can really do things to your insides as a result of eating them.
Mhm.
But in this challenge, man won.
Mhm.
Somebody want to take over for a couple of them?
I'll take it. I'll take the next 3. All
All
right.
right, you take the next 3.
All right,
We'll do,
next-
we'll do them in 3s.
All right. All right. Next stop, Columbus, Ohio, where Adam went to visit Schmidt's Sausage House, spelled Haus, for cream puffs and an all-you-can-eat sausage buffet, plus the Thurman Cafe for an enormous hamburger dubbed the Thurman Burger. Mentioned but not eaten was the even larger Thurminator. But
Benita.
the Terminator. Anyway, this episode's challenge was to eat the 2.5 pound Dagwood sandwich challenge, plus a full pound of French fries at the Ohio Deli and Restaurant. The sandwich consisted of 21 total ounces of 3 different sliced cold cuts, cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, and roasted garlic mayonnaise. Before facing the challenge, he psyched himself up with a fantasy sequence involving the Ohio State Buckeyes mascot and cheerleaders at Ohio Stadium. Adam completed the challenge in just 20 of the allotted 30 minutes and was awarded a commemorative t-shirt. As of December 2008, about 400 of the more than 1,000 challengers to date have completed the challenge, so about 40%. Not bad.
How many of you could complete that challenge? Keeping in mind, you only have 30 minutes to down it.
Nope, I can't do it in 30 minutes.
Maybe an hour, but
Yeah.
not 30 minutes.
Maybe, and it'd probably take me 2 hours. Let's see. All right, next up, it's Austin, Texas. So he headed west to the Texas Hill Country to make and devour giant donuts at Round Rock Donuts in Round Rock, and sample the meats from the open pit at the Salt Lake Barbecue Restaurant in Driftwood. This episode's challenge was to eat 8 of the Don Juan El Taco Grande breakfast tacos at one in a
A
million.
million.
In
Who
Austin.
comes up with these names?
That's clever. In Austin, Texas. Anyway, Adam finished only 4 1/4 of the 3/4 pound concoctions of potato, egg, cheese, and bacon, all wrapped in a tortilla, but was rewarded with posting of his name and photo on the Juan of Fame as the first celebrity champ and one of the top 5 all-time eaters. Local press coverage puts the filming of this challenge on September 25th, 2008, just before the Amarillo challenge. The date posted on the photo was September 25th, 2008.
And basically, he failed to complete the challenge, so food won. But in comparison to other people who took the challenge, he was among those who went the furthest.
Uh-huh.
So even though he didn't complete it in food one, he went further than most other people, so they honored him anyway.
Right.
And with that said, I will be right back if you
Okay.
want to go on to the next one, and then I will take over for the three after that.
All right, sure thing. All right, next up, Chicago, Illinois. So Adam traveled to Chicago to visit Al's Beef for Italian beef sandwiches and Gino's East for deep dish pizza. At Al's Beef, after learning the official Italian stance for eating such a juicy sandwich, Richmond completed a double meat, double cheese Reuben sandwich in under 30 minutes. The episode's main challenge was to eat three overstuffed sandwiches stacked with fries inside in less than 1 hour at Lucky's Sandwich Company. Lucky's is named for Lucky Charlie Weekman, who once owned a part of the Chicago Cubs, built what is now what is now called Wrigley Field. Although the restaurant itself is in no way connected to the descendants of Lucky Charlie Weekman or to the Chicago Cubs. Adam did complete the challenge within the allotted time and became just the 11th person to have his photo posted on the Wall of Fame.
Uh,
That's pretty
I don't
cool.
think I don't think I could handle that.
No, that's just that.
Hey, I like my food, but not to that extent.
Yeah, it's like there's no way I can eat three overstuffed sandwiches
Okay.
stacked with fries. That's too much for me. It's like,
The
bleh.
guy that took over Adam Richmond's place
Mm-hmm.
is like, you there?
I'm here.
I'm here.
Okay. So what do you think of some of these weird ass food challenges?
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
crazy.
No, thank you.
You know
Yeah.
what I say to that instead of the majority of them? Barf.
Mhm.
Okay, can we bring up hillbilly hot dogs and their challenge?
Okay, let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on.
The home wrecker. Remember that, Cheryl?
Yeah.
The home wrecker. I can't do it like the owner of the place.
No.
I wonder if the place is still open.
I think it still is.
Given
Yeah.
coronavirus,
Let's see. Back in 2011, held its first home record world record event competitive eating challenge. Okay. I wonder if they still do it.
oh, we'll know soon enough.
Yeah, I hope it's still open because you have to remember the pandemic's been a crazy thing,
Been a
remember?
bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I can find out. Just hang in there.
Okay, yeah. According to this, here, this is what's on the home wrecker: jalapenos, salted peppers and onions, nacho cheese, habanero, chili sauce, mustard, slaw, lettuce, tomato, and shredded cheese, piled high on a 15-inch, 1 pound all beef weenie in a big old bun. And Sherry says if 15 inches of pure eating pleasure. Now, if you get her done in under 12 minutes, you get a free home wrecker T-shirt. All right. Now, if you beat the current record, you get a home wrecker free too. Now, the record right now is 2 minutes and 34 seconds.
Shite. Hey, could you do me a favor?
Which
Put
one
a
was
bird
that
on
one?
your head instead of
Which
the
one?
pizza.
Which
Oh,
one was that one?
oh, that's
The
that
home
wasn't
wrecker hot
that's not
dog.
that wasn't one, but there is a challenge at the hillbilly
Oh,
hot
the
dogs.
hillbilly. Okay, yeah, that would actually be a good time to bring that in while waiting for me to. Since
Hmm.
I didn't get, since I had to step away to get, I have to eat liquids because of my.
That's fine, no problem.
But I
Okay,
went
can
to get
you
a.
repeat what you said about the home wrecker, Shirley?
Yeah. All right. Now, I mean, it's not much, but basically, it's 15 inches, but you got to deal with jalapenos, sautéed peppers and onions, nacho cheese, habanero, chili sauce, mustard, slaw, lettuce, tomato, and shredded cheese piled high on a 15-inch, 1 pound all beef weenie in a big old bun. Now, if you can get it done in under 12 minutes, you get a free homewrecker T-shirt. If you can break the current record, you get the home record. You don't have to pay for the homewrecker hot dog. The only problem is, can you do it in 2 minutes and 34 seconds?
So you actually have to beat the current record.
Yeah. Now, I mean, if you get it in 12 minutes, you get the T-shirt. But if you can beat 2 minutes and 34 seconds, you don't have to pay for the home wrecker.
Home wrecker hot dog's about $15, $20.
Hmm.
So did you read the one for Chicago already?
Yes, I did.
Could either of you complete the challenge?
No.
No.
Uh-uh.
Could you?
I can say I no. I can see Shirley kind of struggling with it a little bit because gluten free.
Yep.
Okay, but surely
Anyway,
humor us for the rest of this program, for the rest of this show. Pretend you weren't gluten intolerant and stuff like that.
yeah, if you
Pretend you
if
weren't.
yeah,
Okay.
pretend you weren't and Jan, I would say something similar for you. Anything that would prevent you from having certain kinds of foods, let's go on the assumption you did not have that. Could you complete the challenge?
I'll
I
tell you what. The Jack made some potatoes to go with our pork chop tonight, and his mistake was scooping the seeds out of two jalapeno peppers, fine chopping them, and putting them in the potatoes. I thought my lips were gonna fall off.
and,
Ooh.
and we will go over by just a few minutes because we did get a slightly late start. I didn't see how long it was, but I did want to address my surgery at first in case
That's
people
fine.
were.
That's fine.
Okay,
But
I'm gonna
anyway.
take the next. I'm gonna take the next
Oh
three.
wait, well, you want me to answer the question? It says three overstuffed sandwiches. I could probably only like one at a time and have like a one of the sandwiches for dinner, a second one for lunch the next day, and the other one for dinner the next day.
Okay, so I'm gonna take over for the next three.
hmm
The next trip takes us to Atlanta, Georgia. The area I have spent about 5 years in the Atlanta metro, where Adam went to college. Believe it or not, he went to Emory University to visit none other than Gladys Knight herself. At Gladys Knight and Ron Winans' Chicken and Waffles for homemade food, and he went to the Vortex Bar and Grill for their famous hamburgers. While at Gladys Knight and Ron Winans' Chicken and Waffles, he spent time in the kitchen with Gladys Knight herself, making a chicken and waffles plate named the Midnight Train in honor of the song that she made
The
famous.
midnight train to Georgia.
Yep, exactly.
The challenge in this episode for Adam was to eat a 30-inch, 11-pound carnivore challenge pizza at Big Pie in the Sky Pizzeria in Kennesaw, Georgia, in 1 hour without having the pizza leave his body.
Hmm.
In other words, you're
Don't
not
hurl.
no hurling. You have to down the whole thing. Now, that is a really large pizza.
hmm
So he lucks out because this is a two-person challenge.
Hmm.
So
Ah,
he,
gotcha.
so
He
Adam
does
recruited.
occasionally do those.
Yeah, he does. This one is intended to be completed by two people. So he recruited Drew, who is a veteran of the challenge, in order to help him out. With a prize of $250 in prize money on the line, Adam finished most of his half of the pizza, but Drew eventually vomited
Yeah.
most of it and cost him the challenge. As of the time the episode was taped, the challenge had never been successfully completed. But in 2000, later on in 2009, it was finally beaten for the first time by a couple of guys named Eric Unger and Anthony Reganato.
Hmm.
What was
So
Eric's last name?
Unger,
Unger,
like Felix
UN
Oh,
Unger.
I thought he said hunger.
No, it's Unger.
Unger, no H, Unger,
hmm
Okay,
like
never
like
mind.
like hunger without the H in it. So in the
Okay.
in the in the battle of that, food won.
Uh huh.
For the next episode, Adam travels to Boston, Massachusetts to visit the East Coast Grill and Raw Bar for seafood and a super spicy feast dubbed Hell Night, and to the Barking Crab for a 4-pound clambake, whatever that is. I don't eat much
Clam
seafood.
bake?
Yeah,
Don't you
clam
mean
bake.
clam bake?
Yeah, clam bake. But the challenge was to eat a 12-pound Eagles Challenge burger at Eagles Deli and Restaurant that includes 5 pounds of hamburger, 2 pounds of bacon and cheese, 5 pounds of fries, and a giant pickle.
Herp.
I'm gonna go on a limb and guess
Oops.
that the two of you probably couldn't eat that. Not even together.
No.
Not even together.
No.
Because that is a.
Hey, we need to include Mike in that one.
What?
You have to include
He
Mike in
wasn't
that
paying
one.
attention.
The challenge in the Boston, Massachusetts episode, Adam went to Eagles Deli and Restaurant to complete the 12-pound Eagles Challenge burger, which includes 5 pounds of hamburger, 2 pounds of bacon and cheese, 5 pounds of fries, and a giant pickle.
Before you go on, Tim, I just want to tell you, JJ is in the chat room. Hey,
Hi,
JJ.
JJ.
Hey, JJ.
Hi, JJ.
Proceed.
Okay,
Uh,
proceed.
for the challenge, Adam faced off against a self-proclaimed Yankee fan, or well, he is a Yankee fan. Faced off against a former employee of the restaurant who so happens to be a Boston Red Sox fan. If you follow Major League Baseball, the Yankees and the Red Sox have a long storied rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
All in good name, mind you, but they're
Yeah.
rivals. The rival, Chuck, finished 6 ounces more of the burger and fries than Adam did, with Adam losing the challenge and forced to wear an I Love Boston shirt and got his picture on the wall of shame. Best food won. But it's worth noting that if Adam had won instead of Chuck, then Chuck would have had to wear an I Love New York shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So they just poked a little fun at the rivalry in the process. Local press reports that a sign at the restaurant placed a taping of the episode in late October of 2008. And as of January 2009, more than 1,500 have tried, but no one has successfully completed it. In a March 2009 interview at the end of the first season, Richmond contested the loss over issues of portion size and the preparation of the burgers while noting that his rival was not a noble contestant.
Oh boy,
I
sounds like a sore
I
loser
don't
to
know
me.
I don't know whether I agree with that or not. I haven't seen the
Mm-hmm.
episode. And the last of these three, before I offer it up to one of my colleagues, Adam goes home, literally, to New York City to visit Sylvia's restaurant of Harlem for homemade food and Katz's Delicatessen for their famous deli sandwiches. In this episode's challenge, Adam traveled to the Brick Lane Curry House, and the challenge was to eat a bowl of spicy fall, which is claimed to be the hottest curry in the world, and thus be added to the restaurant's Fall of Fame. The owner warned Adam that one time during the challenge, a person actually started bleeding from the nose. That's how hot this is.
Ooh.
But despite this and the pain from the curry, where Adam made the oops mistake of wiping his face with the napkin he had used to wipe his mouth,
Oh shit.
Oops.
Oh shit.
he managed to finish the curry, got a complimentary beer, a certificate of completion, and his picture on the website.
You
And
know
the
what?
and
Poor
the
Adam.
how do you take the napkin you use to wipe your mouth, which has all the hot stuff on, and use the same one to wipe your face?
Oops.
Oops.
I made that mistake with my hand. I was helping my dad roast jalapenos on the grill,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't think about it. And I went and I wiped my hand across my eyes. Instant pepper spray in my eyes,
Ooh.
and they stung like shit for about half an hour.
I
Uh,
believe it.
all right.
So
So I know how he felt.
In the battle of the spicy fall, man won.
Yep. All right. Now it's my turn for the next three. Next up, Nolans. Janet, you and I haven't been there.
Yeah, but I wonder where this challenge took place.
Well, I'll tell you in a second. Adam traveled to New Orleans to visit Mother's Restaurant for a Ferdy special po' boy sandwich and Deanie's seafood for barbecued shrimp. Oh boy, I want that shrimp.
I think Jack and my mom went to Mother's.
Hmm.
I'll ask her and let you know tomorrow.
Okay. Excuse me.
Ask her if she's ever had the Birdie special po' boy sandwich. And if she did,
Hold
ask her
on, I
what
can
she,
ask her now. I
Yeah,
can
go
ask her
ahead.
now. Hold that thought.
Okay.
and if she did, ask her what she thought of it.
Okay. But yeah, oh my gosh. Let's see. I'll wait for her to come back before I tell about the challenge, but boy, I cannot. If I want to eat oysters, they got to be cooked. I can't not have them raw. That's my biggest problem. I would have to have them cooked. And unfortunately, I found out that if I eat too much seafood, I get sick in the stomach.
I think a lot of people would.
hmm Because I remember I was feeling so rotten in the stomach, and the doctor told me this was way way long ago. I had intestinal flu.
I
So
thought they did. Well, my mistake.
okay, that's all right.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay. Well, let's tell Jan about the challenge.
All right. The challenge for this was to finish 15 dozen oysters at Acme Oyster House and join the 15 dozen club. To prep himself, Adam visited a voodoo queen who gave Adam a bag of magic powder, telling him to sprinkle it on the oysters and he would be able to accomplish the challenge. Adam succeeded in this challenge as he slurped all 15 dozen oysters. At the time of the taping in December, only 28 of the 150 people who had attempted this feat had succeeded. Now,
Could either of you succeed in that challenge?
not by a
We
long
couldn't
shot.
do 15. Ask Shirley. We went into a restaurant called Anthony's, and there was a guy shucking raw oysters
hmm
that were
Fresh off the Gulf.
fresh out of the Gulf
Wow.
that morning.
Yeah, but Janet, here's the thing. He had to finish 15 dozen
Oh,
oysters.
Like 180 of them.
Yeah.
And I think he had like an hour, I think.
Yeah, they
I
never
don't
sleep
think I
time.
could do 15 dozen. I could
No, I
probably
sure
do
couldn't.
5 or 6.
I could not.
Well, you want to know something, Shirley?
What?
You know what Tim, if you ever
And
want, and this goes for you too, Mike, if you ever want oysters on the half shell, if you ever want oysters on the half shell, the best place to get them is the Gulf.
hmm
And okay, another little bit of an oyster quiz. When is the best time to catch oysters?
Winter?
I'll tell you in a minute. Tim,
Mhm.
Jan,
what time of the year is best
To catch oysters.
to catch oysters?
I wouldn't. I actually would not know that.
Any month that begins with an R. So
Well,
January, February, March, April, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, and April.
Okay. All right. Well,
That's 8 months out of 12.
all right. So anyway, next up is Portland, Oregon. So he journeyed there to visit the historic Stepping Stone Cafe for 13-inch pancakes known as man cakes,
Oh, yeah.
and Voodoo Donut, which features more than 70 varieties of donut, including a maple bacon bar with real bacon on top. While at Voodoo Donut, Anna prepared donuts and witnessed a wedding held in the donut shop. Now, the episode's main challenge was at Salvador Molly's Great Balls of Fire Challenge. Oh boy, listen to this.
Uh,
5 habanero chili cheese fritters with a side of habanero salsa for dipping. If Richmond succeeded, and only 50 of the 1,000 that attempted this in 2008 did, he would get his picture on the Wall of Flame. After psyching himself up dressed as a pirate in a fantasy sequence, Adam had no problems completing this challenge. Richmond stated in an interview that he believed he acquired habanero poisoning after the challenge was over. A press release from Salvador Molly states that the challenge was taped on December 9, 2008. Then, next stop is Seattle, Washington. So he traveled there for a December 13th stop at Red Mill Burgers for a double bacon deluxe cheeseburger and onion rings, to the Crab Pot in Seattle's historic waterfront district for their signature Captain's combo of shrimp, clam strips, calamari, cod, and halibut, plus a challenge taped on December 14th, 2008 at Beth's Cafe, in which Adam went up against the Southwestern Exposure 12 egg omelet.
oh.
Golly. The omelet, which includes beef brisket chili, salsa, sour cream, and cheddar cheese, weighs roughly 5 pounds and is served on a pizza platter. On average, only one person in 10 is able
You're
to
doing a
complete the
pizza.
challenge.
What? I keep turning down my volume.
Platter.
platter.
pizza platter.
On
Okay.
average, only one person in 10 is able to complete the challenge and win a Best Cafe t shirt. This episode's challenge was complicated by the addition of a race against local competitor, also named Adam, who had previously beaten this challenge. In the end, East Coast Adam Richmond beat out West Coast Adam by consuming more, although neither were able to completely finish the challenge, with Richmond unable to finish the last 2 to 3 bites.
And it was literally that close.
Hmm.
But because he didn't finish the last 2 or 3 bites, food wins.
Correct.
Now, could either of you take on either of those two challenges?
No.
No.
No, I need to have an army to finish that omelet.
I think the 12 egg omelet, I think they measured it like 2.5 feet long
Hmm.
or something like that, if I
Yep.
remember right.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take on the next three. The next stop, Adam traveled to Los Angeles, California to take on
I'll be right back.
The
Okay.
Goliath Manuel Special and Machacha Burritos at El Tepeyac Cafe in East LA. French dip sandwiches at Felipe the Original near Union Station, and the Hot Ramen Challenge at Orochan Ramen in Little Tokyo. Any person who can finish a serving of the special number two, a spicy soup featuring 10 kinds of chilies within a half hour, is awarded a place on the Wall of Bravery. And despite the pain from the soup's heat, Richmond was able to complete the challenge. The LA Times reported that he was in town in late January.
Of this year?
No,
No,
2009.
2009. This is the first season. So this is like over 10 years ago.
Hmm.
Now, see, I don't mind spoiling the end results of these episodes because they've aired 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Most people that will have wanted to see it have seen it. Plus, I think
Okay.
by saying whether Adam and later Casey, when the host change occurs, wins or not, gives people an idea of how difficult some of these challenges really are. But in this case, man wins.
Hmm.
The next step in the journey actually comes closer to me, but not close. But he's been closer. And as Adam journeys to St. Louis, Missouri, to attempt the $35 Big Ben meal at Pappy's Smokehouse, which includes a full slab of ribs, 2 sandwiches, a quarter chicken, and 4 side dishes.
Wow. That's a lot.
That that's the challenge, but actually that's not the challenge. I thought
No.
it was, but it's not. Uh, Local press reports state that this taping took place on December 18th of 2008. He also stopped at Iron Barley to try oak roasted pork loin and a Monte Cristo hot dog. But the episode's main challenge was the malt milkshake challenge at Crown Candy Kitchen. Now, before I describe this, this is kind of a challenge unlike some of the other ones up to date. Adam prepared for the cold challenge with heat, first sitting in a sauna, then consuming a flaming drink, and then watching a burlesque show.
Okay.
So, so what does he have to do to win this challenge? He has to drink 5 of the 24-ounce malt milkshakes in 30 minutes, which a challenge that the restaurant offered since 1913. The milkshakes were divided into 15 8-ounce glasses for Adam, and he got to pick the flavors he wanted. So for his choice, he went with 2 vanilla, 1 coffee, 1 mocha, which is a combination of coffee and chocolate, and 1 eggnog. Adam
Ooh,
started
eggnog.
Adam started strong, but wound up running to the bathroom to vomit it out after drinking 12 out of 15. As a result of the episode, Pappy Smokehouse reported a spike in traffic on the website and increased business from the national exposure even on Ash Wednesday. And in August of 2009, Richmond told a reporter that Pappy's had added a dish to their menu named the Atom Bomb in his honor. But drinking 12 out of 15, food wins.
Yeah.
Now, how would you like to down milkshakes for a challenge?
I I love a milkshake, but I sure can't do 15.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me neither. My stomach would hate me.
Yeah.
I, I'm wondering, looking at the last of my three before I offer it up to one of my colleagues. I wonder how many of you three could actually do this next challenge. Whew. But Adam travels to San Jose, California, where he visited Iguana's Taqueria and Henry's world famous High Life. Iguana's is the home of Burritozilla, a 5 pound, 18-inch burrito that takes several tortillas to construct. Competitive eating champion and San Jose native Joey Chestnut made a guest appearance at this point, eating the Burritozilla in 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Ooh.
Henry's world famous High Life opened in 1960, serves steaks, chicken, and pork chops, but is most noted for its baby back ribs. This week's challenge was to complete the Hellfire Hot Wing Challenge at Smoke Eater's Hot Wings. I hope you guys are ready for this one. In order to win, Adam had to eat 12 hot wings in a sauce composed of hot sauce, barbecue sauce, duck sauce, cayenne pepper, and 6 ounces of habanero powder, which is
Ooh.
equivalent to 6 whole habanero peppers.
Yikes.
And this is actually a bit of a unique challenge up to this point. He had 10 minutes with no beverages and no napkins. If he succeeded at that point, he then had to lick the excess sauce off his fingers and hands and then sit through a 5 minute afterburn, also without napkins, towels, or any other cooling remedy. To prep for the challenge, Adam ate some hot chili at a San Jose firehouse before being called to answer the challenge. What do you guys think? Do you think he successfully completed it?
I think so.
He did.
Yep.
He was able to complete the challenge successfully, but he was in such pain from the habanero chili sauce that he needed ice from the ice machine for relief.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh.
would never eat anything that would run the risk of causing me ulcers,
Yeah, me too.
What make
burning
what
my
make
tongue off,
what makes this challenge
lose
unique was
sensation in my lips for Lord only knows how long.
Yeah. Go
You
ahead,
gotta
what
Tim.
be
make
crazy.
Go ahead,
what
Tim.
makes this challenge unique is not only does he have to complete the food, he then has to lick that long ago. I believe Adam said the 5 minute afterburn was worse than the actual food itself.
Hmm. I believe it. All right. We got time for the last three.
Because you're still not allowed to use the last three, and then we're gonna this is gonna be an ongoing series until we've gone through them all. So
Yeah.
next time around the cycle, we will do the next season of Man versus Food and so forth.
Yup.
So if you want to do, you do one, then I do one,
Okay.
and and then you can do the final one. We'll alternate one, one, one for the last three because
All
there's
right. Yeah. That's fine. All right, so here we go. Next stop in this trip is Denver, Colorado for burgers, steaks, and burritos. The show was taped on January 20th, 2009 at Duffy's Cherry Cricket, where Richmond had waitresses toss darts to determine which toppings he put on his special Man versus Food burger. The production team spent 8 hours at the restaurant. Bacon, a fried egg, guacamole, salsa, smoked cheddar, and grilled Bermuda onions were the randomly chosen toppings. The Denver Post further reported that he would be taping at the Buckhorn Exchange Steakhouse on January 21st, and Jack and Grill for New Mexican on January 22nd. The Rocky Mountain News reports that Man vs. Food would tape at Jack and Grill in Denver on January 22nd as Anna Richmond faced off against a 7-pound monster breakfast burrito. If successful, Richmond would get his picture up on the restaurant's Wall of Fame. Richmond was only able to finish 2/3 of the challenge before surrendering. This restaurant offers any man who can finish the combination of 1 dozen eggs, 1 pound of ham, 1 onion, 1 pound of cheese, 1 pound of green chili, and 7 diced potatoes that the $12 price of the meal be waived. However, any woman who can complete the challenge is offered the right to dine there for free forever.
Dude.
Dude, how many of you could complete that challenge?
No.
Ah, man.
Definitely not.
Oh boy. Excuse me, I had to cough and I had to do so carefully because of my surgery.
Right.
The next to last stop on this first season of Man vs. Food took Adam to the North Carolina Triangle, home to three of North Carolina's major universities, Duke, North Carolina, and North Carolina State, to check out Timeout in Chapel Hill for their chicken and cheddar biscuit. Then on to the pit in Raleigh to cook a pig with local legend Ed Mitchell. As this week's main challenge, Adam tried to eat 17 hot dogs, including 17 buns, half a pint of mustard, and 1 pint of chili sauce, to complete the hot dogger eating challenge in record time at the Roast Grill. Opened in 1940 by the grandparents of current owner George Poneros, the Roast Grill is noted for refusing to serve ketchup. Blasphemy! Don't you people know that ketchup belongs on a hot dog along with the mustard? Anyway, the previous record of 16 hot dogs in 50 minutes had been set on August 14, 2008 by Gabe Gigliotti. Adam wore North Carolina Tar Heels and Duke Blue Devils wristbands, plus an NC State Wolfpack headband for the challenge. That's representing all three schools.
Hmm.
According to local press reports, the visit to the pit was taped on January 28, 2009, and challenge at the Roast Grill was taped on January 30th. Adam completed the challenge in about 30 minutes, and as the winner, renamed it the Man vs. Food Hot Dog Challenge. It should be noted that Gigliotti returned about a month after the filming of the episode and set a new record of 18 hot dogs in 23 minutes and put it back to its original name.
Hmm.
That challenge in and of itself I could possibly do. I don't know that I could do 17 hot dogs,
Definitely
but
not 17.
well 18 now, but
Hmm.
I was 17 when Adam did it, and I don't think I could down that many hot dogs. But eating hot dogs made that way, yeah, I could probably do that.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our last stop here for this season. It's Minneapolis, Minnesota. So we traveled there in February to tape the season finale. In January 2009, City Pages, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Andrew Zimmern reported that Richmond would be in town to tape the show from February 5th through February 8th, 2009. Richmond visited everything from Juicy Lucy joints to the brewski at local beer bars and was escorted by fellow Travel Channel host Andrew Zimmern to rotisserie specialist Brasa Premium Rotisserie Restaurant to see if he can eat everything on the steam table in one sitting. In an interview during the taping of the North Carolina episode, Adam told the reporter, "I'm about to go to Minneapolis where a certain adorable, cuddly, bald bear named Andrew Zimmern will be appearing on my show." Despite an initial press report of a taping that had been canceled, filming occurred on February 4th at Matt's Bar, on February 6th at the historic 5 to 8 Club for a Juicy Lucy, and on February 7th at Gasthof zur Gemütlichkeit and Mario's Keller Bar for a giant bratwurst. Gasthof offers a meter bratwurst, a grilled German bratwurst 1 meter, just over 3 feet long, and served with two side items. Adam chose red cabbage and potato croquettes. And anyone who completes the meal is awarded a certificate. Adam first went. Adam for Adam went. I can't get it right. Adam first went after just the bratwurst, cutting it into pieces so it could cool down. As he got near the end, Adam realized he was getting full and mixed the sides with the remaining bratwurst. This strategy helped Adam complete the challenge, and he received the certificate.
Now, those of you that don't know what a Juicy Lucy is, and I admit that I didn't the first time around that I watched the episode,
Hmm.
it's actually a very creative sandwich. How many of you, both listeners and my three colleagues, have ever eaten a cheeseburger in your life?
I've had a cheeseburger, yeah.
Well, I'd say probably everybody probably has at one point or another. How many of you have had a cheeseburger with the cheese inside the meat?
I'll tell you something. I think it's an option over at GT South because Tori the chef, he makes stuff your own burgers, And you actually can have cheese in there.
That's what's called a juicy Lucy, where normally they would put the slice of cheese on top of the sandwich.
Hmm.
Instead, they cook it into the sandwich. The cheese goes inside the meat instead of on top. It basically is like saying taking a patty, and I imagine they may have shown how they did it on the episode, and I need to rewatch to find that out. It's like cutting into the patty, sticking the slice of cheese on the inside so it's surrounded completely by the meat,
Hmm.
and then tossing the meat assembled onto the fryer
Hmm.
and cooking it,
Yeah.
and then putting it on a bun with whatever toppings you so choose. That's what's called a juicy Lucy.
Okay.
Because when you bite into the cheeseburger, that's when the melted cheese comes out. Hence the juicy Lucy. It's creative. It's different. It's a common takes a common dish and a cheeseburger and it prepares it in a completely unique way. I have never had a juicy Lucy, but I would be tempted to have one prepared the way that I prefer my cheeseburgers.
Hmm.
So this is definitely just to provide a little history about it in our last few minutes here, because we don't have time to start a new season, and I don't want to start one that we cannot finish.
Right.
Uh, but a juicy Lucy is basically a cheeseburger with cheese inside the meat instead of on top,
Right.
which results in a melted core of cheese. There are two bars in Minneapolis that claim to be the inventor of the burger, while other bars and restaurants have created their own interpretations. What happens is the burger is prepared by putting cheese between. Oh, okay. I'm right idea, wrong description. They
Okay.
put cheese between two patties of meat and then seal both patties around the cheese to create a single patty with a cheese core. So, right idea, wrong execution. They don't cut one patty in half and stick it in there. They use two patties.
Hmm.
But the same principle still applies. You're trapping the cheese inside the meat. As the burger cooks, the cheese inside will melt, keeping having the effect. Excuse me. This is what I was talking about the gas. Sorry.
It's okay.
This has the effect of keeping the meat near the center of the burger very juicy, and it also separates the cheese from the bun, resulting in a slightly different texture than your usual cheeseburger. Typical burger toppings like condiments, onions, and pickles may be added. Two bars about 3 miles from each other on Cedar Avenue in South Minneapolis both claim to have invented the burger. Matt's Bar and the 5 8 Club. Matt's credits the bar's former owner and namesake, Matt Bristol. One account claims it preceded his purchase of the bar in the 1950s, but that Bristol formally added it to the menu and thus popularized it. Another version is that the burger was invented by a customer in 1954 who remarked, "Oh, that's one juicy Lucy," after biting into it. The 5 8 Club does not provide a particular origin story, but the bar itself was originally a speakeasy dating to the 1920s. The two bars offer slightly different versions of the burger. One difference is the spelling. Matt's removes the letter I in juicy, supposedly an inadvertent misspelling dating to the burger's creation, while the 5 8 Club utilizes the normal spelling. Shirts worn by staff at the 5 8 Club have the motto, "If it's spelled right, it's done right," while advertising for Matt's Bar says, "Remember, if it's spelled correctly, you're eating a shameless ripoff."
Hmm.
The 5 8 Club offers several different cheese options for their version, while the version at Matt's only contains American cheese. The rivalry between both bars and their interpretations is long standing, but has gained more exposure since receiving a mention in Time in 2008 and being featured on food related television shows such as Man vs. Food and Food Wars. In 2014, President Barack Obama visited Matt's and had a Juicy Lucy, prompting the 5 8 Club to offer him one of theirs. In 2018, the editors of The Thrillist wrote that the Juicy Lucy is an important milestone in the evolution of hamburgers themselves, leading the charge for industrious chefs and more than a few infomercial entrepreneurs to begin stuffing their burgers. Variations of the burger at other area restaurants are encouraged rather than quashed. Most use the same basic preparation procedures, but offer different variations in terms of toppings, the burger's filling, and any accompaniments. Several restaurants aside from Matt's and the 5A Club offer their own versions of the burger, each claiming that theirs is superior. Some of the best known are Blue Door Pub and The Nook. In 2018, Bon Appetit magazine declared the best Juicy Lucy in the Twin Cities to be the one served at The Nook.
Nice.
So, in essence, that's what a Juicy Lucy is.
All right.
Two burger patties with a slice of cheese in the middle, and then cooked as if it were one sandwich, thus producing the melted cheese and the juicy interior flavor.
Makes sense.
That's a nice take on your classic cheeseburger, no matter what you put on it.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah,
guess what? We're right at just like 1 minute over. That's not bad at all.
that's not bad. It went over the original start. This is a good place to go ahead and stop it. I know
Yeah.
we were gonna go over a couple minutes because of my talking about my diagnosis and whatnot, but we actually finished on time when I thought we wouldn't.
Mhm.
And I don't want to start the next season of
Yeah.
challenges
Yeah.
that
We'll
we
do it. Yeah.
knowing we can't finish it. So this is going to be an ongoing series
Mhm.
until we cover all of the challenges.
Yep. All the
And
challenges, all the seasons.
and if we complete the man versus food challenges for one season before the show concludes, we will also talk about challenges from restaurants that did not appear on man versus food.
Right.
But remember, if you go out there to these restaurants to take these challenges on yourself, please make sure you eat responsibly.
Yeah.
The idea here is not to stuff yourself so full that you feel like you could burst. If you go to eat one of the spicier or hotter challenges and you have to sign a liability waiver, bear in mind that's to protect the restaurant because you're making the choice to take on the challenge and it is very, very hot. Know what you're getting yourself into and then enjoy it. If you can't beat the challenge, you're not the only one that couldn't beat it.
Yeah.
If you beat it, hey, luck's on you. You might get a free T-shirt. You might have the meal comped.
Mhm.
Maybe both. Your picture on the wall of fame.
Yep. Exactly.
So if you do this, please do so responsibly. I don't want every listener running out to take one of these atomic wings challenges, burning their mouth off, and then complaining that we told you about it and therefore we made you do it.
Yeah.
No, no, we didn't.
No. If you want to do it because you want to do it. Don't be influenced by us. Okay. Or
But
man
if you do,
versus food.
or man versus food, and enjoy it though, especially if you're a foodie like I am.
Mhm.
Yeah, I enjoy watching these challenges, even though I personally would never attempt half of them.
Right.
Why? Because it allows me to, quote, travel, end quote, around the country, watching competitive eaters like Adam Richmond and later on Casey Webb take on these challenges. This is interesting stuff, people. This is not just, oh, McDonald's, Burger King,
No.
Wendy's,
We don't do
everybody and their
that.
mother knows about those restaurants. These are like mom and pop type restaurants. They
Mhm.
might be chain restaurants with a very limited area served.
True.
If you were going to go to, say, Pittsburgh and you wanted a unique place to eat that kind of blends in with your visit, try Permanente Brothers. I guarantee you're not going to find one in San Francisco. I guarantee you won't. Quaker Steak and Lube is a chain restaurant, but they're not in every state. They're only in a handful of states in that area.
Mm.
DeLuca's is a mom and pop restaurant. So hit these places up. Give them some business,
Yeah.
especially in this pandemic.
Mhm.
If you enjoy food and you enjoy travel, I bet some of these restaurants would love to have your business during this time.
Yeah, I mean, I know Janet and I, we both went to Matt's Big Breakfast, which was visited by Guy Fieri. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Guy's Big Breakfast has since extended,
you mean Matt's Big
expanded.
Breakfast?
Matt's
Yep.
Breakfast has extended to a second location.
Yep.
Because that one little building Shirley and I went to was if it could hold 150 people at one time.
Yeah.
Next time around in the series for round two of challenges,
Mhm.
we're going to be talking about another 20 challenges that were attempted by Adam Richmond in places like San Antonio, Las Vegas, Honolulu, Springfield, Illinois, Washington, D.C., and more. Just to give you a heads up on some of the places that we're going to be talking about challenges in. There's
Mhm.
even going to be a special episode on baseball stadiums.
Ooh, nice.
Well,
Oh,
specifically minor league baseball,
Yeah.
but it's
Oh
still
yeah.
baseball.
I swear, I've got the Montgomery biscuits here in town, and some of their food has been awesome.
excuse me.
So,
So
How
just to give you,
about that rest? It's a baseball themed restaurant owned by the Alice Cooper.
oh, okay, cool.
so if you enjoyed tonight's episode and the challenges, next time around in the cycle, we're going to be talking about 20 more challenges,
Oh yeah.
including it appears there was a live special that I've never seen, and we're going to talk about that one too.
Okay, cool.
So that makes a total of 21 challenges we'll be talking about on the next season, or not next season, the next episode
Episode
of
Food
Food Fast.
Fascinations. Mm-hmm.
There are 8 seasons of Man versus Food. So we have one episode down, 7 more to go in the series.
Right.
And we
You
hope
mean
that
one
you.
season?
Yeah.
Tonight we just did season 1.
Yeah.
There's seasons
Right,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 yet to go. And
right.
season 4 and season 8 might get split into 2 episodes because of how many episodes that there were.
Gotcha.
Season 1 had 18 episodes. We did all 18 of them. Season 2 has 20 plus the live. Season 3 has 20. Season 4 has 27. So we may either fly through that or we may split it into 2 episodes. Remains to be. Well, actually, no. We may combine 4 and 5 together into 2 episodes because 5 only has season 5, which was when Casey Webb took over the hosting after a 5-year hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
Only has 10 episodes.
Okay.
So we make if we don't finish season 4 within its episode, we'll finish it up and then do all of season 5
That'll
in the
work.
same because of that. We may also combine 6, 7, and 8, 14, 14, and 32.
Okay.
Uh, Again, because 14 challenges is not we're not going to get the full hour doing
Mm.
14.
Yeah.
And 32 is too many for one. So we may take that as what's that come to 70
Mm-hmm.
episodes.
Yeah.
We may do that in maybe 2 or 3 episodes.
All right. Sounds good.
And then just make note of where we left off
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to have an episode of Food Fascinations where we only talk about food for 15 minutes.
Right. Exactly. All
And we
right.
don't want other ones where we'll be talking well past our hour or
Mm-hmm.
our intended hour since Twitch technically doesn't have a limit.
Yeah.
So we will modify some of these bigger seasons to possibly stretch over multiple episodes for the simple fact that there are too many to do in 1 hour. I would say 20, maybe 21 in an hour. Season 4 with 27, we'll try to do it in 1 hour, but if we can't, we'll just roll over the remaining episodes to the next episode of Food Fascinations.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys enjoy this, please give us some feedback.
Yeah.
You know, food is a topic we could go on and on and on about
Forever.
forever.
All right. So anyway, of course, tomorrow night is Friday, and we have already chosen we're going to play Among Us on tomorrow night. So we're gonna we're gonna have some fun. I'll be back in purple.
And
Hopefully, I can keep my blue this time. And
I'm
don't
blue.
worry,
I'm
Mike.
blue. I'm blue.
Well, I ain't doing pink.
You don't
And
have to do.
Mike,
You don't
I'll
have
make
to do
sure.
pink.
Yeah,
I'll make
Mike's
sure
red.
you get your red.
Mike is red. I am blue. Shirley is purple, and you're usually green.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll be
Mike.
okay.
I'll make sure you get your
Red.
I'll make sure you get your red tomorrow.
All
No
right.
problem.
Okay. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed tonight's episode because seriously, there are some really fun food challenges out there. But remember, don't do it because of us. Do it because you want to give it a shot. Okay. Please don't do it because I will tell you when I was at that one in Amarillo, I looked at this like there's no way in hell I'm gonna try that one.
Hmm.
Mhm.
All right. So anyway, I'm gonna play the ending really, 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 really quick. So hang on. Whatever. I think I played the wrong one, but you know what? I don't care. I'm not
It's
worried about
been
it.
one of them. It's been one of them days.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, and yes, I still have that piece of pizza on my head. I'm gonna take it off pretty soon. But anyway, we hope you have a great night. Have a safe night. Sleep well. Stay safe. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Don't eat too much chicken grease, though. Seriously. And, and we will see you tomorrow for Among Us night. So have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Night, y'all.
Shanna.